Here, life is better thanks to nonprofits and your sponsorship of the State of the City. Here with me now is Boys and Girls Club of America National Youth of the Year, Jimena Villarreal.
Representing the Rio Grande Valley on a national stage.
I serve as a spokesperson for the Boys and Girls Club of America, advocating for youth across the nation.
This record-setting club is made possible by the amazing community that we have here today.
This honor includes a $50,000 scholarship and represents the power of community support.
With your support and more than $7.6 million in City of McAllen grant funding, we strengthen local nonprofits.
Your investments help young people, seniors, families, and neighbors.
Together, we're building a stronger McAllen. Next is now.
Si pudieras elegir ser cualquier persona, ¿quién serías?
¿Inspirarías a tu comunidad?
¿Harías de McAllen un mejor lugar para vivir?
Elige empezar algo bueno. Elige dejar las cosas mejor de como las encontraste. Elige hacer las acciones pequeñas que importan. Elige sentir orgullo de tu vecindario.
Si puedes elegir ser algo, elige brillar.
Hi, my name is Robert Nino, and I'm a code enforcement officer for the City of McAllen. Whether you're sprucing up your yard, helping a neighbor, or organizing a neighborhood cleanup, you can borrow essential tools at no cost from our community tool shed. Available tools include lawnmowers, weed eaters, rakes, shovels, wheelbarrows, and much more. Tools are loaned out on a first-come, first-served basis, so be sure to plan ahead. Getting started is simple. Come to our offices at 311 North 15th Street and bring a valid photo ID or proof of McAllen residency. Tools are loaned out for up to 72 hours with a one-day extension available if needed. Pickup and return days are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can find the Toolshed application online at McAllen.net under the Health and Code Department page. While you can fill it out ahead of time, all applications must be submitted in person at our office. As a friendly reminder, we ask that all tools be used responsibly to ensure the safety of you and our community. Have questions? Call us at 956-681-1900. Let's work together to keep McAllen beautiful, one project at a time.
The City of McAllen launched the inaugural International Firefighting Exchange Program. With several cities in the state of Tamaulipas, Mexico, the cities of Reynosa, Ciudad Victoria, and Tampico participated in training. According to McAllen Fire Department Chief Juan Gloria, this groundbreaking initiative provided a unique opportunity for firefighters for McAllen's sister cities, where they learned new firefighting techniques, strategies, and participated in hands-on exercises with McAllen firefighters.
We're here at the City of McAllen Fire Department Training Center, and we have firefighters from Reynosa, Tampico, Tamaulipas, and Ciudad Victoria, Tamaulipas. We have a total of 19 firefighters that are here, and this is part of an initiative, not just of the fire department, but our city leaders, our mayor, who is always looking for the opportunity to also reciprocate and do anything that we can for our sister cities.
This day-and-a-half accelerated firefighter training program included 2 annual training courses, which covered a range of topics. Firefighters learned different techniques on structure fires, confined spaces, skills how to better utilize the water streams, ventilation, forcible entry, and vehicle extrication.
All we're going to do is very basic skills. We're going to show them, like right now you see them getting their tank on, how to maneuver through obstacles in case there's a collapse or something. We show them how to move the tank around and stuff.
The city of Reynosa has approximately 1 million residents who rely on the Reynosa Fire Department to keep them safe.
Claro, bueno, pues primero agradecemos la invitación a la ciudad de McAllen.
We appreciate the City of McAllen extending the invitation to participate in this first exchange fire training exercise for our firefighters. Our Mayor, Carlos Peña, reaffirms his commitment to making sure our citizens stay safe, the latest fire training for the firefighters.
The initiative was started because McAllen Mayor Javier Villalobos and Reynosa Mayor Carlos Peña have the same goal, to strengthen the safety for their residents.
Anything that happens in McAllen has an impact one way or another in our sister cities in Mexico and vice versa. And so when it comes to safety, when it comes to, in this case, firefighting, it is very important for us that, we bring them in and that we consider ourselves as one. A safe Reynosa is a safe McAllen, a safe McAllen is a safe Reynosa.
Instructor Lieutenant Alanis says it's a great and unique experience to train with his Mexican counterparts because McAllen can also learn from them how to fight fires.
I'm excited to be here to be with them and just to share our experiences with them.
The McAllen Fire Department plans on hosting many more international firefighting exchange programs to share and learn as they assist their neighbors in Mexico. For the City of McAllen, I'm Roy Cantu.
Hi everyone, I'm Mayor Javier Villalobos, and I'm excited to kick off the Unstoppable Red Cape 5K and the first ever mascot race for inclusion. This event is on March the 14th right here in the 956. This incredible run supports capable kids and celebrates inclusion, empowerment, and the belief that every child deserves to feel unstoppable. Last year, the City of McAllen started this challenge, and this year, I'm passing the cape forward. I'm officially challenging Mayor Omar Ochoa, Mayor Nori Garza, Mayor Mario Garza, County Judge Richard Cortez, and Commissioners David Fuentes, Eddie Cantu, Eber Villarreal, and Edley Torres to join us and rally your community for this great cause. We look forward to seeing and sharing your videos. Whether you walk, run, cheer, or bring your mascot, just be there. Let's show the Valley what inclusion looks like. I'll see you at the starting line, and I'm waiting on all those challenge videos. Game on!
Daily of seeing the progress taking place
is now one step closer to becoming a reality.
This is something that's totally new, one of a kind in the United States. I think we're going to be having a great time here, and I'm talking about with kids, with UTRGV researchers working alongside children. We're talking about tourism. We're talking about just a bunch of things.
The City of McAllen and Quinta Mazatlan held a topping off ceremony for the Center for Urban Ecology, a tradition that marks the placement of the final beam in a construction project.
What a fantastic day for McAllen. The Q project is a major investment by the city, almost $86 million in new construction here on this expansion, and a tremendous opportunity to showcase the strength of McAllen and our partnership with educations of higher institutions.
A center that'll immerse students, the community, and visitors in McAllen's one-of-a-kind environment, a beacon for ecotourism and education. Nature lovers and bird watchers from all over the world will be able to enjoy what the Q has to offer at McAllen's own World Birding Center. The state-of-the-art research center will allow students of all ages to not only get excited about nature, but also study, research, and even become scientific leaders in the field of urban ecology.
Ecology is defined as a relationship between living organisms, and urban ecology is the relationship between all other living organisms and civilization, and we really need training in urban ecology. It's extremely important for the future of the human race.
The Q is a unique opportunity for the community to engage, the university to engage, and us to do that together. The university will be here with its botany programs, with its food science programs, culinary programs, supporting future entrepreneurs of tomorrow.
With countless hours of dedication, the Q is just 1 year from completion, but its impact on McAllen's economy is already being felt. Once finished, it is projected to generate nearly $500 million in economic impact for the city.
So this type of project is definitely one that you come across, it's a once-in-a-career type of project, and so we were super excited to be a part of it.
It makes me feel very proud. This is definitely a very unique project to the Valley and very unique to Texas, and I would say even very unique to the United States.
A one-of-a-kind facility with 14 acres promoting ecological education, the Q is projected to support more than 1,000 jobs.
I think it looks good. It's something that the city of McAllen should be proud of. I don't think it, in South Texas anyway, there's nothing to match it. So I'm very, very proud to be part of it.
Proud of environment.
McAllen has such deep roots. The cultural roots here are incredible. But one of our mentors said, all we give our children is roots and wings. And so we wanted to add the wings to McAllen's rich cultural roots.
Especially for our kids, lives for the rest of their lives.
For the city of McAllen, I'm Crystal Garcia.
Commerce is booming at our international bridges. This month, the Anzalduas International Crossing will expand to become a full-service cargo port of entry. Southbound traffic will have full cargo truck crossings, a new lane, and an upgraded
And now from McAllen City Hall, a meeting of the McAllen City Commission.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's City Commission meeting. First, we have Pledge of Allegiance, followed by invocation by Commissioner Rolly Rios.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to gather here today in service to our community. We ask for your wisdom as we make decisions that impact the lives of our residents, our family, and future generations. Your word reminds us, for we walk by faith and not by sight. As we look forward to the future, help us to lead with faith, trusting in your guidance, and even with the path ahead, not knowing exactly what might be ahead of us, you will guide us in your name. Bless our city employees, our first responders, our local businesses, and every resident who calls this community home. Protect our families, strengthen our neighborhoods, and guide us as we work to improve the quality of life for all. May our actions reflect a servant leadership and a commitment to a greater good. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. And we have two proclamations. First, we have Black History Month. Commissioner Castillo.
City of McAllen Proclamation. State of Texas, County of Hidalgo, City of McAllen. Whereas during National Black History Month, we celebrate the vast contributions of blacks to our nation's history and identity. And whereas each year, February is designated Black History Month to remember and reflect on the tribulations faced by the black community while learning from the vibrant culture and history and celebrating its many invaluable contributions. And whereas shining a light on black history today is an important to understanding ourselves and growing stronger as a nation as it has ever been. That is why it is essential that we take time to celebrate the immeasurable contributions of black Americans, honor the legacies and achievements of generations past, reckon with centuries of injustice, and confront those injustices that still fester today. And whereas the 2026 national theme for the observance is African American and labor, highlighting the significant contributions of African Americans to the workforce throughout history. And whereas the City of McAllen is deeply committed to equity and inclusion, and as such honors the contribution made by our Black community and wishes not only to acknowledge them, but to commemorate and celebrate the contributions made by local residents. And whereas our community is better because of their contribution, resilience, and fortitude, who contributed in music, sports, academic, business, and economics, and the overall progress and well-being of McAllen's growth and development. And now, therefore, I, Commissioner Rodolfo Rudy Castillo, City Commissioner of the City of McAllen, Texas, by virtue of the authority vested in me, and on behalf of the Mayor and the City Commission, do hereby proclaim the month of February 2026 as Black History Month.
Thank you very much to the Mayor, to the City Commission, for always standing by and being such a wonderful supporter of the Black community in the City of McAllen. My name is Dr. Teresa Gatling. I am the co-president of Village in the Valley. And without the support of the city and many others, we would not be able to do half of the things that we do for our community, which we're so excited to do. So thank you. We accept this on behalf of Village in the Valley and all the other Black communities. Sorry, I'm back again for 1 minute. Apparently I forgot something. We are actually having our Black History Month Black Heritage Gospel Fest. So we have it every year. It will be this Saturday at Palmview Library and Community Center, 6 till 8. Everybody's invited. Come listen to some good gospel music, dancing, poetry. We're just going to be celebrating everything he just said, the contributions of the Black community, labor, and arts. Thank you.
And next we have Women's History Month and International Women's Day. Commissioner Rios.
I would like to invite all the women on the audience to please come up to the front. Everyone. Whether you work with the city or
everybody.
You guys are very special to us.
There we go.
Let's show the force of the women have here.
Bendito. Bendito.
Thank you so much.
Bienvenido entre los mujeres. Oh my God.
I'm in the back.
I'm in the back.
Okay, City of McAllen Proclamation. State of Texas, City of Hidalgo, County of Hidalgo, City of McAllen. Whereas women have shaped the story of humanity, leading with courage, creating with vision, and nurturing with love, leaving a lasting mark on families, communities, and society as a whole. Whereas women are pillars of our homes, the cornerstones of our workforce, the heart of our neighborhoods, and the guiding light for future generations, embodying strength, resilience, and unwavering dedication in every role they play, whether it's personal or professional. Whereas throughout history, women have broken barriers, raised voices for justice, and pursued opportunities with determination, inspiring others to dream boldly, challenging limitations, and create positive change. And whereas in the City of McAllen, women serve as leaders, innovators, educators, first responders, communicators, mentors, and visionaries, balancing countless responsibilities while lifting others and shaping the present and the future of our workforce. And whereas celebrating the accomplishments of women honors not only the achievements, but also the sacrifices females have made, the challenges they have overcome, and the legacy they will leave behind for generations to come. And whereas women rise, communities thrive. Therefore, celebrating achievements strengthens our city, advances equality, and inspires every woman to embrace her strength, voice, and limitless potential. Now, therefore, I, Rolando Roli Rios, City Commissioner of the City of McAllen, by the virtue of the authority vested in me and on behalf of the Mayor and City Commission, do here proclaim the month of March 2026 as Women's History Month, and furthermore, March 8th, 2026 as International Women's Day. Big round of applause to these ladies over here.
I suggest a picture be taken there.
Yeah. Don't move. Spoken like the voice of God.
Let's step forward. Let's step forward. Y'all get up.
No, that's true.
No, ya no salimos.
No, okay. Busted.
Thank y'all so much. We had item 5A, our presentation by our tax attorney, but I think we have a pretty good report there, so I think Ms. Rivera can be excused. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Judge. All habits.
Okay, first item is the public hearings.
Board, good afternoon, Commissioners.
Good afternoon. Afternoon.
Afternoon.
Ready? Yeah. All right, with item number one, which is the rezoning of downtown. This was part of what started this was the Envision McAllen, which was adopted in May of 2023. This started in, of course, in 2022, which got adopted in May. It started with the Envision McAllen and Unified Development Code, which got adopted in December 2024. We have been rezoning the south side of McAllen and other sections of McAllen. So we've done about 6,000 parcels. Right now, the city core is located south of Business 83 to Jackson Avenue between Bicentennial and South 10th. This is for a total of 680 lots. The city core downtown zone will be give the property owners more allowable uses for their properties, so that they can meet renters' wants and needs. You can see the allowable uses in the PowerPoint. However, of course, they will still have to comply with building code requirements. The special use permits have always been created a lengthy process for review, since the applicants bring in incomplete submittal packages and further delays the approval of the special use permit by the planning director. At the moment, any bar that is not in the downtown area requires a conditional use permit. CUPs go to P&Z and City Commission for approval. These CUPs have submittal dates every twice a month, and we feel that this will streamline the process and get the applicants a faster turnaround time versus the special use permits. The Deputy City Manager and staff had a town hall meeting February the 12th and have been meeting with property owners on a weekly basis to hear out their concerns. This past Friday, the Deputy City Manager and the staff also had their first meeting with the redevelopment strategy team, and they're gathering data and will proceed with the study. As far as right now, we do have 4 parcels that are not in compliance to the new UDC guidelines. However, there will be non-conforming uses that will still be allowed. It was 2 car lots, a car wash, and a funeral home. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Right now, we send out, of course, 10 letters letting the property owners and the renters for those 4 properties to let them know that they won't be in compliance, but there will be allowable use because they are part of the zone right now.
Okay. Do we have anybody to speak against this item? Yes, sir.
Again, I would like to refer back to 20 years ago. There was a plan called Foresight McAllen. There's a priorities on page 18 The very first thing the city was supposed to do was to adopt a UDC. You guys are 18 years behind. So that's my point. We are trying to get this rushed because y'all didn't do what you were supposed to do 18 years ago. Not you guys, but the city. So don't take things personally, because I don't. So I just want to make sure that we understand that this UDC, if I can wait 18 years, we can wait a few more months till we get a constructive downtown business plan that the citizens understand, because I don't know what I'm buying. I know what I bought 20 years ago. I know what I didn't get. So I want to make sure that y'all go back and look, because I love Omar. He's a great guy. I get along with him great. But he's never read the foresight plan. If he would have read it, he would have read the first priority on page 18, which basically is when it starts. I just want to let that known for the record. And I sent every commissioner that plan too, just so you know where I'm coming from, because sometimes I'm talking about things y'all don't know because y'all weren't there. None of y'all were here 20 years ago. So for the history of McAllen, I just wanted that for the record. I know you're going to have a decision to make, but please consider me, because I was there. I saw it. I felt it. And I know that energy can bring back a lot more investment if we just know what the plan is. All right, Isaac? Do you agree? No communication. We need better communication, guys.
Okay, anybody else?
I have a question real quick. How this is going to affect, in particular, 17th Street tenants and owners?
Well, right now, what the thing is, right now you have a special use permits. So right now, that's a timely process. No matter what, it takes a while. It's just incomplete applications are submitted and they're approved by the planning director. However, with this change, it would be everything would be with a conditional use permit. With a conditional use permits, if you don't have a submittal packet that's complete, we're not going to take it in. It's not going to go to the board. So we feel that this will streamline the process, because now you're going to submit all your package, and within 2 months you'll have a yay or nay as far as, okay, you can go ahead.
They'll be able to operate their business. They'll be able to rent the same kind of venues that might be in 17th Street regularly.
Correct.
Anything of that is going to change, or they'll be
Honestly,
able to do all those kind of things still?
I think it gives them more opportunity. So right now, if you have a second-story structure, where two-story building with it, you don't have a use for the second-story story. If you want to turn it into a dwelling unit, you're more than welcome to turn it into a dwelling unit. However, you will just have to comply with the code requirements. So it gives them more opportunity for the use of their property.
Well, when I see it as opening up just the vast opportunities for everything. Should the owners want to invest in the properties? Well, I think one of the ways to bring life back to the community is, of course, like condos or that type of stuff, which before we couldn't do. Now with this, we'll be able to do. Maybe commercial on the bottom, apartments on top, and we're not restricting bars. We're not restricting restaurants. We're opening up an opportunity. That's the way I see it. But and then as far as the conditional use, it's just like anybody else in the city of McAllen. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then right now, I guess right now we're in a great advantage because we can use somebody else's money. We have investors on the west side of Bicentennial that are redeveloping the residential townhomes. However, I think will increase the walkability area for the downtown area. They've already been investing in that. That's not our money, it's their money. And then we've had several properties on the east side of Bicentennial that have been coming in for a conditional use permit for smaller homes, which is smaller 25-foot lots. Which is a lot of record. However, they're zoned in a C3. However, they have to get a conditional use permit or rezone it. So this gives it a great opportunity for them just to keep doing what we've been bringing into the city commission.
How much of the city have we rezoned to the UDC?
As of right now, we've done 6,000 parcels.
But what is that? 6,000 out of how many?
Out of about 55,000.
Okay. And so are we moving in a certain order? Like, why is downtown?
So we started in South McAllen, so we're at the halfway point. So that next city commission, actually the one in April, will be bringing in the mall area. So we're coming up. So we've already rezoned the golf course area to AO last meeting. So it's just we've been going northbound. So started in the south side.
The downtown area to me is one of the ones that need the most help immediately.
Yes, sir. Especially, we've been having a lot of inquiries on properties that are for sale, and we've been having questions on bars. So right now, we're in limbo between this special use permit and the conditional use permit, and the conditional use permit just a faster process.
Conditional use is a faster process.
Yes.
But special use has an
It's ju-
what was the advantage of a special use for downtown?
The advantage was it could be approved by the planning director. However, the disadvantage is that there was no deadline. So of course, the applicants would bring in incomplete applications. So they would get a site plan, then they would get us the lighting plan, but then we wouldn't get the camera
They'd
plan.
piecemeal it.
Yes. So
but,
it would take.
but eventually you'd get the whole application.
Yes, it would. But it would take at least 4 or 5 months before we got everything.
But that's what we were doing, and we were starting our problems.
Yes.
Mr. Sotelo, I had a very quick opportunity to look at some of the points that Mr. Guerra brought up in an email that he sent to, I believe, all of us. I guess one of his concerns among that he listed was the opportunities for the retail shops or businesses that are currently located, that it's possible that state or federal agencies that have grant opportunities would be impaired or have or eliminate that opportunity for them. Can you do you have any information on that or how?
Well, this is going to be the base layer, and of course we're going to get to that eventually. But we just started the study this past Friday, so we are going to do those pockets of those different zone areas and items, but it's just we're not there yet.
Commissioner,
But we
we're
still
looking
need.
at zoning. There's the reference to base layer is accurate in that an overlay district is just that. You have to overlay over something, and so what we're changing is the base layer. Nothing of an adoption of a base layer would prohibit this commission from later adopting an overlay district over a certain area. Furthermore, we have specifically tried to create this district as the city core, is what it's called, such that those grants would not be interrupted. Is the argument that we would make would be that the city core is in itself an overlay, or the base serves the same purpose. It's not just commercial, mixed use, residential. It is given its own zone, which is more.
But there's current overlay districts that exist today, right?
Yes.
Does this rezoning affect those, or they'll stay in place?
It doesn't affect no.
So the overlays remain even if it gets rezoned, let's say beneath it, I guess you could say, right? Like the overlay is kind of an umbrella over the zoning of this part of town?
We're going to reclassify them.
Yeah, I'm going to let Austin address that question.
So it depends which overlay you're asking about. Some
Well,
overlays are no longer in existence based on the repeal of the prior zoning ordinance, and so now we're reestablishing those overlays.
I think part of the question I'd come up with to JJ's point was some grants out there require a history, right, of the overlay. So if we were to adopt an overlay and apply for a grant the month after, it might have one of those technicalities where they say, well, you need to have a historic or a downtown or a entertainment overlay that needs to be at least 24 months matured, right, or something like that. So I think their concern is that we'd put those types of things in jeopardy, and if we've kind of looked at that. And the reason I asked about the parcels earlier is I didn't know if to ensure that we look at all that, we just kind of skip this block, right? Is there a rush to do this part of town?
The main thing is that we've been having a lot of inquiries as far as with bars. So right now there's been several applicants that want to apply for bars, and we need a conditional use permit before we can process them, because right now we don't have the special use permits.
Mr. Guerra, I'd like to hear a little bit more because I know that you were kind of shaking your head about, you seem to disagree, so I'd like to hear what you have to say.
Uninformed of what happened, and maybe you guys aren't. There's a thing called the ECOD, and what happened was they put regulations on us, very strict regulations on us to open up into the entertainment district. If we did away with ECOD, or let's just change the rules, just change this to a CPU. I'm all for UDC. That was supposed to be in the U plans. I'm not against that. But as you can see, you guys seem confused. I'm confused. That's why we should just table this and get more input. But other than that, never in the history of McAllen has Archer Park not been the focal point of downtown. I cannot believe you guys don't just, that alone, something's wrong. And I'm sorry, but just getting straight to the point.
You know, Mr. Guerra, wait a minute. You and I
I'm sorry.
and our family have been friends, okay? When you say, I want to get real sentimental. Archer Park was the first, I took the first steps when I came to McAllen at Archer Park. My dad left us there at Archer Park, okay? Then he went to Clark Chevrolet and asked for a job. And it was available to him, and we stayed here. So saying when you say you guys, please don't do that, brother. Brother, we are here all trying to help each other, okay? And downtown area is the whole, I'm talking about where the first Boys and Girls Club happened on 10th Street, okay? And I think Austin or whatever, right there where the football stadium was, that, and all of that area, La Posada, Archer Park, and downtown. And it's not 17th Street, it's not downtown, it's all downtown.
Correct. Amen.
Okay? And it needs a great revitalization.
And
okay?
plan.
It does, okay? And what happened 20 years from now, ago, is 20 years ago and today's today, okay? The UPC that we are adopting is something that we feel is going to be a lot more accessible for a safe, which we need to be very, very clear, okay, that our purpose here in this city as an elected official is to have safety as a priority, okay? So if you are going into an establishment anywhere in this city, we want you to feel that you are safe in that establishment, okay? Safe in electrical power, in utilities and plumbing and everything, the roof, the walls, that they won't fall. That is part of going to getting a permit to run an establishment. And it's all part of it. Yes. Okay? And when you go through that process, it takes some time. Okay? But we are trying to make it as functional as possible. And in the UPC, in the urbanized central part of our city, that we want to make it available so that there can be a density there that could be have commercial, have living conditions, dwellings, that it could be functional for all, just like in a lot of cities out there. We don't, and we are not giving up on downtown. It is the basis of us, okay? And Archer Park is essential in this, whatever decisions we take, please, all of that area is just as important, okay? So what I'm just saying is that we have had better communications lately, okay? And we will continue, okay? But it is just not one little segment of downtown, okay?
Well,
And you know, and I know that you know that, okay?
Yes. And thank you for making my point.
Yeah.
Your Exhibit A of why we need a pause, everything you just said, is we're going too fast on a very delicate area that a lot of people need to take a look at this. An economic study doesn't take too long. The thing that takes a long time is a business plan, and one that to take us into the future. I read the new plan. It is almost a copy, if you read both plans, of the old plan. That's why I like it. The thing is, if you really wanted to do this, why wasn't there a budget in 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026? There's no budget because there was no plan for a development of downtown.
Mr. Guerra, I see a lot of the benefits of opening up for different types of
Have you ever read
businesses.
Foresight? Excuse me, Mayor.
Just hold on a second. So I see a lot of benefits. So I'm trying to figure out what is it that you think will negatively impact you?
First of all,
rezoning.
the zoning area, what is considered downtown? You're taking what historically has always been the heart of downtown. I grew up in a small community. The little Pasita was where every downtown was. McAllen is no different. Now it's not going to be considered downtown. You're talking about living on top, working on the bottom. I live at the Village. That's exactly what that is. And you're not even zoning that downtown. You're talking about the walkability and the bikes. You just made that on Main Street. Now you're not making that part. All the examples that you're doing was part of Foresight, but you're excluding that. Look, Foresight, the only difference between that and the new plan that you taught is the ECOD. Everybody wants to invest, but they're not going to invest unless there's a plan.
But I still don't get it. How will it negatively impact you?
Well, by you not talking negative about downtown would be nice, but the first thing is going to be, hold on. Let me make my point. You've had plenty of time to speak to the media. I try to communicate with you by email and not face to face, hoping you can at least return my calls or email. But my whole point is, as far as what you're trying to get at, people want a dream to be sold. You remember JFK, let's go to the moon? He didn't know. He wasn't a scientist. That's what we want our leaders to say, to be positive and everything. But you're going to be negative, everything goes down.
Okay. I guess the way I see it, what we're trying to do opens up a lot of opportunities for the business owners of not just 17th Street, but the whole area.
Yes, and that's
It gives them
exactly
an opportunity to do everything. I don't see how it negatively impacts the individuals that want to conduct business in the
We're not
downtown
saying
area.
the original plan for one. I'm just going to say one page is
But
150.
we're not in the original plan.
No, it's the
We've
same
done something
plan.
different.
It's the same plan. It's the same plan.
Then why are we fighting it?
Because the ECOD has created this SUP situation where it makes it hard for him. Get rid of it and make us conditional use.
That's what we're doing.
That's what the
No,
zoning does.
you're rezoning. Hello? You're not just, Isaac, you want to step in?
I'm going to agree with the mayor and the commissioners. We're rezoning in a way that
That's
will,
agreeing with me.
I'm not agreeing with you. We are rezoning in a way that will allow for more opportunities. So the opportunities that exist there now can continue as long as you comply with the requirements necessary to obtain a ZUP. And more uses that are currently prohibited will be allowed. So we are opening the opportunity to invest in the district and put things there that today could not be there.
Those are called rules. And you're talking about zoning.
Thank you.
You could either, yeah, you're welcome. You can take the ECOD and go away with it, and then you get what you want, and we get what we want. But an economic study and a third-party development plan would tell you that. I'm not going to be here to debate with a city that I love, but we need to get a third eye on here because you all guys, like the mayor said, you're seeing just what you want to see.
I think
Go ahead, I'm only taking more questions.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking of let's take your venue for example. Most of 17th Street, your zone currently C3.
Look, downtown is more than 17th Street, and I think
it's the whole
that's
quadrant.
the whole point.
I get that, yeah. But I'm just trying to look at one example so we can see if we can get on the same page. You're currently zoned C3 under sort of the old code, right? You're going to be zoned,
Not zoning, code, just for the record.
Yeah, you're gonna be zoned.
You can change the zones, right? You can change the codes, right? Without rezoning? No?
No. And so you're going to go from C3 to under the new UDC city
I just
core.
talked to them about that. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, you're going to go from C3 to the city core zoning. It's going to allow, let's say, your building, or I know the Showery's building, to attract more types of businesses that that the building has restrictions on today under the C3. The only difference, I think, for a bar, right, because sometimes we talk a lot about the bars, they'll go from a SUP to a CUP, which I think everyone in general agrees it's a better mechanism, better oversight, process is a lot more well-defined. And so I think we don't expect any negative repercussions on any operator. And if you're a property owner, you should see an open availability of types of businesses that you can attract, right? And this is for all of downtown, like you mentioned. We talk about 17th Street, mainly bars, but most of downtown has more of a blend of restaurants.
Retail.
You've got some retail, primarily retail, right? So I'm also trying to determine, even trying to maintain some hesitancy to ensure you guys feel also comfortable as property owners and operators.
Well, Exhibit A is nobody's lining up to invest in downtown. If this is such a good plan, and if you all believe in it, why isn't there a line of people trying to invest in downtown right now? There's not.
Well, maybe
now you're going
it
to
hasn't been rezoned.
Yeah, I think right now there's a study
if
being
people
done.
have heard about this and people would think that this is going to be good, we would get people wanting the property owners here, the legacy property owners, the Khalifas, the Clinks, the Moffats, they're all ready to jump ship. If they felt this was, these are people that have been in business. I'm not a businessman, but everybody, the temperament is not well. I'm in the trenches out here, guys. You know, I'm reporting to you. I think
we're giving y'all an opportunity, the legacy families, everybody, to conduct more business than you can right now.
I agree, but I think economic development plan, I would pay attention more than that than your comment right
It's all
now.
privately owned. We can only do so much.
I'm not-
The
no.
people, the owners have to invest in their own properties. We can give you an opportunity by rezoning, opening up the doors for a lot of things to come in,
I agree.
restaurants,
I'm
a
all for
bunch
the
of other
UDC.
stuff.
That was number one priority in the foresight plan. You guys were behind, and you're backpedaling them to make it sound like nobody did nothing wrong. Let that be for the record. It's not like this is not something new. It's new to you, maybe, like the buoy project, but it's not nothing new to me. These are old plans.
Yeah, but the UDC is a citywide plan, so it's not
Yes,
just
I
targeting
understand that.
downtown, right?
Right.
And the rest of the businesses, the rest of the commercial areas, the most of the urban areas, they're affected in the exact same way in the sense that they're actually not negatively affected. Everyone continues to do business in the same way they can today. That's what I think.
I am perfectly fine with the UDC.
Okay.
I've been living under the SUP under the ECOD restrictions
Yes.
is what I'm trying to explain. I want those thrown out. I want to be like everybody. I want to be treated like everybody else.
Okay.
But because the way you're zoning it, you jeopardize what is considered downtown. The heart of the
I think
city.
we agreed on the UDC.
Yes.
We agreed on a CUP process.
Yes.
I think maybe Omar can help explain what's the disconnect in what is it that we lose in the downtown
By going to UDC.
Yeah, that's right. By going to UDC, what is it that we're losing that he's
Well, now it's
referring
like
to?
Austin pointed out, it's a city core downtown. So it's still we're still clarifying it as the city core
If I
downtown.
may, what we're losing are the requirements that the speaker wants us to lose, which are the SUPs. He just said he wants the SUPs thrown out. That is exactly what this does. We're
Yes.
throwing out the SUP requirements. I think we're doing exactly what the owner is asking us to do, is we're just not connecting for whatever reason, communication.
Michelle?
Yes, sir. If I may, so the
I think
foresight plan was.
There's no currently downtown zoning, right?
Correct. And that's the thing I want to point out. We have 11 zones in the new UDC code zoning. One very specific designed to suit the downtown. We have CCDT and we have CCUT, which is the north side of Business 83, which will include Archer Park, which we will get to later. We are starting with the CCDT, which was identified in the plan that was adopted by this commission over 2 years ago, almost 3 now, and we're implementing it because of the struggles that they're having downtown. There was a property owner representative that showed up at P&Z for the Khalifa family properties, and she was in support of it because it opens up the opportunities for them to sell to new and different types of investment. I understand that there is fear that this is going to take away. I've met personally with downtown property owners for over 10 hours in the last couple of weeks to try to address some of the concerns and to convince them that this is just step one. You know, we have a lot of plans. One is that downtown strategy revitalization plan, which we did kick off on Friday. It's not an economic development plan. I keep repeating that. It is not an economic development plan. That is something completely different. That is not what we're doing. There are professionals, and, you know, I'm sorry, but I take offense. I am also a planning professional. Can't be a prophet in your own hometown, I understand. But I've been doing planning for over 30 years, and I've seen all kinds of plans. This is the first time I've ever seen a commission have the opportunity to take advantage of a UDC and to implement it fully. And I think that it's going to be a great thing for this downtown. I'm going to continue to work with them directly at all points of the way to make sure that we get any concerns with grants. I'm not aware of any grants that would require what's being asked for, and if there are grants that need to have overlays put in, by all means, we're going to add those. We're going to bring those to you guys to ask you to add those. We are searching for grants as
Mr.
well.
Guerra brought up a very good point, is the area north of Business 83 around Archer Park. So even though it may not be in the central city core district, it's going to be part of the
It is part of the CC. There are 2 districts that were identified in the plan,
Okay.
the Envision 2040, CCDT and CCUT. That is part, because it's more residential in that area, a lot less commercial, that it has a different zoning. And like I said, there's only 11 zones in the whole plan. 2 of them are specific for the downtown area, and they've been designed that way
So
for that
CCUT would
purpose.
be city core uptown, or?
Yes.
Oh, that's what it is. So it is being addressed in terms of.
It will be, yes. We didn't want to confuse the issue by taking both of them all at the same time, so we wanted to focus on the area that needs the most help first.
And I imagine that area will be, the southern limit will be Business 83, the northern
Yes.
limit may be Hackberry or Pecan, and
Something
then
like- yes.
Bicentennial and 10th or somewhere.
Exactly.
Thank you, Michelle. Any other
And
questions
just to
for Michelle?
confirm, because I know that Mr. Guerra brought it up on the grants and how they might be affected because there would not be an overlay district. To your knowledge, there are no pending grants, and I guess Mr. Alexander's back there listening, maybe to his knowledge that there are no grants that would be affected. I mean,
Not that I'm aware of. I do know that we are working on a couple of grants for downtown that will not be negatively impacted. I'm not aware of any that they have that are private. I do know that they do get some grant funding, and like I said, I met with them for 10 hours, and I haven't yet been presented with a grant that's
so
that
here
we're
comes
going
a
to lose.
cross-examination question. So given your 30 years experience in planning, as you talked about, do you believe that the city court downtown district is just, as been
It's a
referred
base
to, the
district.
base level
Yes, sir.
to get the whole thing started, so we could start looking at the specific overlays, right?
Right.
That would be congruent with what the whole objective of the UDC is, correct?
Yes.
And it would not impair or impede any grant applications during the entire process?
Not that I'm aware of, no, sir.
Okay. Well, are you aware of any that you think or believe would be impaired, Mr. Guerra? Go ahead.
Yes, I want to get back to what I believe should be, I know I talked to Fallick the other day. To me, that downtown should be Hackberry all the way to Business 83. You're taking the belly out of what downtown should be. I know you're saying there's more residents on north of 83, but there's a lot of businesses now on Main that stretches. There's a lot of other businesses that are located in that area, also on 16th, 15th Street, more than you think. That, in the long run, because we're talking about the future when I'm gone and your guys are gone, the future power people of McAllen need to use this to build up downtown. Downtown, you're choking it. You're cutting 1/3 off. I envision, from what I saw in the Foresight plan and in this new plan, all of a sudden you're cutting the tail and the head off of downtown. That's why I'm saying, now IBC Bank, they have a business and they got one zone in one area and one zone in the other. I just think that change the ECOD area for us, make a CPU, and we can go forward. But what I'm calling the zoning is what y'all are outlining. I think it's just stay to Hackberry and go to Business 83. I think in the long run, with the hotels and the business that Fallick is developing there, it's going to create a tremendous amount of power for getting federal and grant money, because we're going to have more businesses that are new and more hotels that are new. So it's going to increase the future of downtown, and it's not going to limit it at all. Right now, you're thinking private investment like mom and pop. I'm thinking corporate. We need to think bigger than that. It's part of the strategy.
Is there any grant funding that you're aware of?
Actually, yes, because I'm not sure where I'm going to be as a historical national landmark. It'd be nice to know that I'm in the entertainment business that's been established since 2002. I tried to get Luis Munoz. He was the one that had the theater before me. And the only reason he got it to be a national landmark because they zoned that. So we don't know what the future holds. Let's leave it open a little bit. Better yet, let's table this and come back to it. There's too many questions. I met with her, and I love Michelle, but I still don't have these answers. And the answer she's giving is very politically safe and vague.
Anybody else?
No, I'm sorry, Mayor. I know that I talk a lot, and I'm going to do it for another 5 minutes, but I'll be as succinct as I can. The City Core Uptown District, in relation to that chart you showed us with the various different uses, I imagine that it's going to be a less number of optional
Yes.
uses? All right.
Yes, it will.
And I think I understand where Mr. Guerra is getting at, because I think as our city grows, our downtown needs to grow too, and not just be encapsulated within Business 83 and Jackson and all that. Does the UDC allow, whereas we see development grow north on Main, north on Broadway, north on 15th and 16th, that it can be modified over time?
Yes.
So
Yes.
guess what? It starts looking more and more like a downtown city core district.
Right.
It does allow, we have that
Yes.
flexibility.
Yes.
It is
That's,
flexible about that, yes.
Okay. Okay, but do you understand what she's saying, that it's flexible to?
Let's do it now. I don't know why you're going to zone it. Later on, come back and rezone. Let's let investors know where the strongest point of downtown is going to be now and for the future. Why reinvent it?
But rezoning is exactly what we're doing, right?
Okay, is there anybody else?
You need to expand it.
Please.
Oh, you don't like the boundaries?
Correct.
Hey,
Come forward,
Mr.
sir, you're gonna speak.
Alexander. It's a public hearing.
James?
Okay. Oh, you know what? He probably doesn't want me to do it, but I'm going to apologize for him just a little bit. But you know why? I mean, he's got 20 years PTSD, right? He was promised a lot 20 years ago. He was. And so when you talk about rezoning, you're right, Mr. Mayor, and some of you guys, no, a bar that's open today is not going to suddenly not be able to open tomorrow because you've rezoned it. Right. That nobody's trying to say that. What he's pointing out is that you have to know Bert Garrett, and I think some of you do know him a little bit. This got a little confused. It's not just about 17th Street. Right. Bert cares about the retail district. He cares about his history. The guy's beating you over the head right now with old plans. And the reason he's doing it is because he cares about the history, not just his specific history, but about the whole history of McAllen. Now, so I am going to, with danger, give you a little bit of a history lesson. In 2009, when they pushed forward the ECOD, and by the way, I'd like to correct the safety issue, is it's going to CUPs actually, there's less regulation on a bar than there is under the special use permit. When the special use permits, it was the provisions of the special use permits that were used against the bars and venues to clean them up or in whatever regulation. The age verification device is not required from any bar or venue outside the ECOD. The UV marker is not required from anybody outside the ECOD. Currently, when you're doing the video surveillance, only in the ECOD are you required to maintain that video for, I guess they'd say 30 days in the ordinance, which, by the way, is almost impossible to do. So there's actually more regulation within the ECOD. That's clear, and they can justify or not say that. What's easier is, like through zoning, is that getting that permit's a little easier. The paperwork's a little bit easier. It's going to make Mr. Sotelo's life a little easier. Now back to the point. 209, they talked about downtown. They were doing it all up. The thing is that what we're talking about here is an overly broad generalization. Right now, the way that it is, because of the opening, the idea is to bring in as much investment as possible. Understood. It is not exactly how you want to do it. We're talking about curating with intent. Right now, technically, as soon as you pass this, if I want to go open up a bar on 14th Street and I find the right building and I get it up to code, I can. I can do it on Broadway. I don't know if you really want a bar there, especially if you decide later that somehow encompasses your history district or your retail only district, or if that somehow encompasses your residential only district or your offices, government offices, because here directly around, you're about to rebuild a new city hall. You're going to probably want mostly office spaces around it. But technically, when you pass this, I can go across the street and open up a bar. I can, because that's how this works. It opens up to investment. So nobody's saying stop the world. I'm saying zone, curate with intent, because what really happens, and that's why you get outside sources that give you guidance when you talk about an economic development plan, because you don't know what you don't know. An entertainment district back in 2009, what they did is they just said, hey, we're just going to have all bars and restaurants here. And you know what you ended up with? All bars, and not even bars. You ended up with nightclubs, which I never liked. And from some of the things like that, I never really liked either. My dream is to own one of the best bars on a very vibrant 17th Street. So I want that dream. We're on the same team. But what you do when you're thinking about it, you say, this is our entertainment district. So maybe you don't want something specifically in there zoned, because this opens it up all the way across the board. But that's not how you curate a retail specific zone. That's not how you curate a cultural specific zone. That's not how you curate an entertainment specific zone. You allow more specific zoning mechanisms than this. And I know it can be amended later and somebody's going to bring that up. But the whole idea is that having a third party evaluate in advance, having those overlays distinct and in advance, it does actually matter. The Texas the cultural grants that the cities right now are getting $7.2 million, and I know you guys are getting some. We'd like to see some of that down here on downtown. Currently, you have a history and arts district that runs all through, and it kind of ends and shivers down over to the what's the museum that's right over here? The Heritage Museum, and it shivers on whatever. Technically, you went cultural and history because people talk about downtown, they talk about preserving the history of it, right? You're going to change. You're going to grow. Eventually, you're going to get a freaking Starbucks downtown, right? But there's going to be buildings that you're going to want to preserve. So you're going to want to have it all identified. And you're going to say, this is our residential side. This is our retail side. This is our cultural side. This is our entertainment side. And I'm sorry, overly broad generalization lacks intent and purpose. And when you lack intent of purpose, it's a harder sell. That's why I keep bringing up the grants thing. Because they like to see things like urban development, townhome, those that they say, this is what we're specifically doing here, retail development here, we're going to rebuild and refurbish our things. This is specifically what we're spending here is on cultural investment and entertainment investment. So you're going to get matching funding in outdoor events because you're doing it within a cultural district. I may be wrong. I may be over here, blah, 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 blah. But the real question is, do you know for sure that I am? And if you don't know for sure that I'm wrong, then Bert's not wrong. A little bit of patience might be the way to go. Because nobody's saying, stop it, the ball from rolling downhill. That's impossible. That's physics. Progress will come. Just do it with intent, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Sir, you have 3 minutes. If we can get your name and address for the record, please.
Jorge Cruz Sainz. I'm from McAllen. I'm also a business owner. And just for, I guess, roll call purposes, how many here have owned a business? Raise your hands. I had that question asked at a tax assessor's. City of FAR was taking concerns from citizens on property value, and they're questioning, and they have a rebuttal process if you find issues with the amount of the percentages, and you can take it to court. But once you start getting attorney generals and courts into the conversation, then it seems like somebody's trying to deter or defer ownership or responsibility. So I'd like to question y'all, just like they asked y'all, how many here have owned a business over 30 years? Anybody? Exactly. So with that being said, business owners, it's a new landscape. Have you ever, how many of your business owners ever opened up their own website? Or do you just contract somebody to run it for you? How many people have their own chauffeur, make decisions while you're on the road from A to B? This is what y'all are determining. So there's two sides of the story. It's the public, and then there's a private partnership. Now, these transparency measures and accountability parameters need to be included in these decision-making processes. I question the UDC, the comprehensiveness, and how engineers are determining the standards of procurement, the standards of evaluating professions, and this whole communication issue needs to stop. Just because Robert Rules of Orders implemented a standard does not mean that that's the only way that we can communicate. As professionals, you address it and you follow suit. You told me yourself, let's wait to the courts. Let's wait what the court decides. How many people are aware of what businesses are doing to the public? How many concerns have you addressed in a timely manner? How are these feasibility studies evaluating how consumers are responding to these issues? They haven't had a voice. They haven't even had an opportunity to become owners of property, to understand what he's dealing with. Personnel, rates, how are these ratios or these economic development plans that are strategically trying to create a workforce that is aligned with these foresight activities? Envision 2024, look where we're at, 2026, and we're still talking about a plan from who knows how long ago it was drafted. So if you know the digital landscape and you know how quick a thought becomes an action, just like AI is starting to take into consideration all these conversations from people that we don't even have control of our name, image, and likeness. And they're using us as a social capital without our opinion or our
Thank involvement. You, sir. That's your 3 minutes.
So much. Anybody else? Commissioner,
City Manager,
questions, comments?
have we ever had a workshop on this specific rezoning proposal?
We have not workshopped this specific rezoning. We have had at least one town hall, and like Michelle mentioned, she has met with the business owners. Just to clarify one thing Mr. Alexander mentioned, so the commission is clear, although by ordinance, CUPs would not necessarily require the same conditions that are placed on SUPs. It is open to the commission to impose on any CUP those same conditions or any other conditions that the commission deems reasonable in issuing that permit. We have had several workshops. We have engaged Men's Collaborative. We had our kickoff meeting last week. There is a three-phase plan to meet with all stakeholders with regard to McAllen's core, McAllen's downtown. There will be a three-phase process. We will go through investigation. I want the public to know that we are not approaching this in an ad hoc method, that there is intent and there will be deliberate thought behind what happens. But right now we'll go through some data gathering. We will then go out, meet with the community stakeholders together with MEND, collect ideas, collaborate ideas, bring those ideas back to the City Commission as we work on putting an ultimate plan together. Where we find ourselves today, if we don't move forward in implementing what the UDC considered for this part of the city, that we find ourselves in a situation where we may actually hinder development. The message was received loud and clear by my office that owners, proprietors in the downtown area were looking for breathing room, wanted to expand their business opportunities, and this zoning does just that. It is designed specifically to allow opportunity to find itself in downtown. That plan does not mean that decisions will be made, again, on an ad hoc, random basis. There will be intent into the applications that are processed and the recommendations that come to this commission to consider. And Mr. Alexander is right. In any commercial zone, somebody could come in and make an application to open a bar. It would require a CUP, and that application would come to you. And so he's right. There could be one opened up on Main Street, and the commission may find that mixed development in that area is exactly what the city is looking for. The commission may decide that it's not, based on what the operations of that establishment will look at. I can think of countless, tens upon hundreds of applications that have come before this body, whether it was specifically the 7 people or a different group of commissioners who have considered the layout, the operations of establishments all over the city and said, yes, that works in that neighborhood, or no, that doesn't work in that neighborhood, or that works in that neighborhood with these conditions. And so that process won't change. What we have tried to do in bringing this to you is comply with the intent of the UDC and provide the opportunity that this district has asked for to them.
Mr. Mayor, because of the questions that have been brought forth to this board, as well as some of the very complex issues, I'm recommending and making a motion to table the item and recommend to the city manager to have this as a workshop
And there
item.
can be a second if you want to, but I just don't see, I think we're hindering the other property owners' ability to do and move on and capture some of the potential that they can have.
Be called on.
So what difference is a workshop going to do?
It's going to educate me more, that's for sure.
Well, I think we already
I think
know.
for all of us.
I think we already know what the issue is. If we rezone, we open. I think we know we open up the opportunities for the land, for the property owners. And I'm sorry, Mr. Guerra may not quite understand all the issues, and I'm glad Mr. Alexander kind of tried to explain. But like he said, I don't know what's going to happen. Well, you know what? I may not wake up tomorrow. But I think we have been informed enough as to what we can do and the potential of what can happen to our downtown area if we rezone. We can start developing, redeveloping, and giving the property owners the opportunity to, finally do something that they may not have been able to do, a year ago, actually a week ago. So it's up to the commission if there's a second.
Yeah, I mean, I would second it. Look, I'm 100% for doing this rezoning. I'm doing it more to establish the comfort and trust of sort of some of the owners and operators of downtown. I know Michelle's met with you all
Yes, she's been
countless
very
times.
helpful.
I am a proponent of the rezoning. I think when James got up here and spoke, I think we need to get for sure maybe some definitive clarity so that everyone understands when we say certain words what each side means, right? Because James is talking about cultural, entertainment, arts. Well, that's not built into zoning. That's not built into these things, right? That's talking about more of the master plan, how we're going to work to revitalize downtown, what type of grants and support the city's going to provide for that. But the UDC doesn't take that into account. It doesn't take into account cultural or entertainment or anything like that. The UDC is just simply zoning for permissible purposes, right? And pretty much almost all of downtown, the downtown city core allows for almost every type of use imaginable, significantly more than was allowed under the previous zoning, right? And so if we need to, over time, as I stated, add overlays, whether it's an entertainment overlay, arts overlay, historic overlay, whatever the case may be, with restrictions on buildings and how they can transform them, I think that's good to discuss.
UDC is the future. Okay?
For sure.
We both
agree on that.
I agree on that.
I got the impression you just don't agree with the boundaries.
Correct.
Okay. So
that's precisely what I'm talking
But
about.
wait a minute.
What is the purpose of
What is the
tabling
plan?
something? Hold on. What is the purpose of tabling? There's no reason to. We're going to get right back to where we are.
Mayor, I'm going to take.
I do believe we'll get back to where we are. I'll state that openly.
Exactly.
But I think if
and look, we've always said we have to make the tough decisions at the times that they have to be made. I don't even view this as a tough decision.
But we
I
need to
think
make
it's
a
something-
well-informed decision,
Mayor.
Mr. Mayor. A well-informed decision.
I feel very informed by what
I
our
don't.
staff
But
has said.
that's why I'm advocating. I don't feel comfortable because maybe through my own fault, I did not spend enough time
No,
to read four
Commissioner, I
times.
think you may feel uncomfortable because you
No,
have
no, I didn't
somebody
say uncomfortable.
speaking
I said-
about it, but we have to make decisions that
It's about being
benefit the
informed and
whole community, and not just a
educated,
few
Mayor.
individuals.
It's being about well-educated. Maybe not the best to know it the way Mrs. Rivera or Mr.
But
Johnson
that's why she
know it.
perfectly explained it.
Excuse me?
That's why she perfectly explained it.
I understand that.
I think Michelle's
we
done a
all
tremendous job.
understand. I think we all know, but
I really don't see how the difference of 2 weeks is going to make in any major decision or capital improvement project or investment in downtown.
No.
Because if you think it's time, he made a good point. It was 18 years ago that this was brought up. What's another 2 weeks?
Well,
I think
that's what they've been-
there's likely applications in process that are stalled due to sort of the limbo status of.
well, maybe because they want this passed. The rest that are not here.
Well,
So.
I mean, it's a point. If they were proponents for the ordinance, then they would be here to advocate and say, we want it.
Well, I mean,
Look, okay, there's been
A
a
motion and a second.
There's been a motion and a second. All in favor of the table?
Aye.
Okay, how many?
Aye.
JJ and I.
2 against?
I need to vote.
Against?
I can't hear you.
I'm
Guys.
Against?
Okay, 2 against.
3 against. Motion fails. Is there a motion to rezone the? What is it?
What do you mean?
Do I have a motion to approve the rezoning?
I can't hear
Is there a
anybody.
motion to approve
Would someone like
the
to make a
rezoning?
motion, please? Sorry, Mayor.
I'll make a motion to rezone.
Do I hear a second?
a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against?
Aye.
Okay, so we had 1, 2, 3, 4, motion passes. Okay. Okay, next item.
Next item be tabled. We will be having a community meeting on March the 25th at the Boys and Girls Club.
Excellent.
Elvita and AEP have been working on that.
Yeah, and I want to thank the planning department again, and I guess it's Michelle's night tonight, Michelle, for working with AEP and getting them in contact with the residents that had concerns about this site to make sure that they do have an opportunity to meet with AEP and discuss these issues. So that meeting will be at the Boys and Girls Club on March the 25th. Just in case anybody's listening on TV or the commission wants to attend, we'll make sure that you are provided with notice of when that meeting is. But we do recommend this remain tabled and that we take no action until
So-
after that meeting.
Okay with it. I just thought the urgency seemed a little more severe than now,
Than it
all the way
was.
till March 25th for the public meeting, right?
That was
But we have
the
this
day
now.
we could get the people necessary to have a conversation with them to the table. So we're moving this as quickly as we can.
Okay.
Make sure to include the people in downtown and owners. And
Okay.
This is for the AEP
the one with the
skid
temporary
station,
station.
yeah, temporary skid.
Yeah, but
Quick
Okay,
aside,
mo-
Mayor, I think that's the longest discussion we had on any item in a very long time.
I
It was
need a
good
motion to amend the
discussion.
zoning ordinance of the city of McAllen.
So moved.
Here a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Consent agenda items A through,
No, you answered it.
Can you pull 2E, please?
A through
Oh,
I.
yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, Mayor, I'd like to have
Pull
item
2E.
2E pulled out for
Okay, items A
consideration.
through I minus 2E.
Thank you for the reminder.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Item 2E.
Mr. Santos-Coy.
Mayor Commission. Yes, sir. Well, based on review by this office, staff recommends approval of the Transportation Network Company operating permits to Razor and Lyft to operate at the McAllen International Airport for an initial term of 1 year with automatic 1-year renewal subject to satisfactory permittee performance. This item comes before you in 2017. House Bill 100 was passed to allow airports specifically to charge the user fee for the transportation network companies. We're looking at a $3 fee assessed. We are an enterprise fund that does not get subsidized by the city, so this will help us as we continue to move forward with some type of debt service for our terminal expansion.
Mr. Santos-Coy, what's the main objective of going into this contract? Is it revenue generating?
Yes, sir, it's a user fee.
Okay, and the user
essentially
fee-
like for parking, people pay parking fees, so
Okay, but this is a specific fee being charged to an Uber and Lyft passenger, correct?
Yes.
correct.
And it's not going to be assessed to someone who's using either the short-term or long-term overflow parking
No, sir, this is
facility.
No, this
strictly Uber and Lyft drop off and
I would say every large airport has what I would call a rights.
Thank you. You just said every large airport, Austin, DFW, Hobby, International.
Some of them are 10,
Intercontinental.
12, you know.
I checked, Midland charges $285, Lubbock, I didn't get a chance to check, and I believe Amarillo does. Why do we have to be just like everybody else? Why can't we just be we?
Oh, I mean, our airport is growing. It's a
Well,
revenue
I
source.
understand
It's
that,
not
but
a
we don't
tax.
have the passenger volume like Austin
It's
or
That's what I
not
was
a
gonna
tax to
ask.
the individuals, and especially not a tax to the individuals in McAllen, probably not.
So-
if they get dropped off or not, the hotel motel tax is usually other people coming and spending. So I think this is something similar. Not that I want to charge extra to visitors, but really that's what it is.
Do we have any data on the amount of Lyft and Uber or rideshare services that drop
there's
off
about 4,000 trips on Uber a month.
a month?
A month.
So
that-
average. Any idea of average fare? And we don't get that.
I'm not sure. on
You don't
that.
get that with just $3 more.
$3 more, but you could say $3 more. But I mean, we're a small community, and
That's
I
what
wonder
I'm saying.
if it was causing strain on the system. I don't know. If,
I really don't like the idea to charge.
Well, I mean, it's.
well, I think
You're gonna
it's
take
inevitable.
whatever you wanna
I just
take.
don't know.
No, it's
if
inevitable.
premature.
As we look, the whole premise of this is we look to incur some debt service on the terminal expansion. This will help us alleviate some of that in our rates and charges.
I would also,
100,000.
I just want to reiterate one thing that Jeremy said for the commission's consideration. The airport is an enterprise fund not subsidized by the general fund. And so it operates on the fees and charges that it generates. When you consider what this charge is, it is a use fee, in essence. So it would be no different than a fee charge for somebody who parks their car there, no different than somebody who takes a taxi from there, no different than somebody who rents a car from there. all of those passengers buys a ticket and passes through the airport. All of those passengers are paying use fees to use the airport, whether they are a charge on their Uber bill or a charge for a parking ticket. So this categorically is the only group of individuals using the airport and not helping sustain the operations of the airport, maintenance, debt service, all of the things we look to.
Do taxis have a surcharge? Airport fee?
No,
Are they
taxis by ordinance are taken care of by
Ordinance.
downtown services.
So this is the issue I have. Your car rental fee, well, you have the car rental service using a lease space, and they're using the parking lot that could probably use as an overflow. You use a passenger facility charge. Why? Because you're using an airline, getting on a plane. That goes to the infrastructure because somebody's using the toilet, somebody's using the jet bridge, someone's using the taxiway, and it'd be re-asphalted. But to me, an Uber driver is not that much different than a family friend dropping me off at the airport. They're using the same public roadway, Bicentennial Boulevard. They're pulling up to the same curb. I don't see that their use is any more different than if my family member dropped me off, my wife there sitting in the back and dropped me off at the airport. Because if you're going to make the argument, well, they're using the driveway, well, that's a public road. That's already paid by general funds. The maintenance may fall in a different department. I understand that. But why specifically to Uber? We're not providing a facility. We're not providing a shelter. We're not providing I think what's the beginnings of a designated area. If I go to Austin, I may have to walk about 3 blocks, but I have a covered parking garage. I have a dedicated space for Uber. I have a dedicated space for Lyft. They're clearly numbered, they're clearly marked, and it's sheltered. It's all well lit. Nobody's climbing over another person to get into another car. So I see that, hey, that fee is going to apply for the structure, the operation, the maintenance of that facility. Right now, all we have is a sidewalk and a curb. If I saw that facility or that $3 was going to say, hey, we're going to build a shelter, we're going to put some benches, it's going to be clearly designated only for Uber drop-off or pickup and no one else, then I could see a difference. But we're not that kind of airport at that point. We're a non-hub, airport at this point. We don't have the passenger employments that others do. I understand that, let's face it, this is another way to make money. This is a revenue-generating fee.
It is an enterprise fund.
I completely understand that.
It should seek out revenue
fund,
opportunities.
Exactly.
I'll give it that.
And then it's you have somebody, a Uber driver or Lyft, regardless, it's still a business. We have franchises throughout. They utilize the roads. They utilize everything, making funds. And, I usually don't like to, I hate taxes, I hate everything, but I also understand that our airport has to do, we know what's coming. Most people don't know what's coming in our airport. We do. We need to generate.
I understand.
I also want just for the commission's information, Commissioner Zamora, you brought it up. Brownsville, Lubbock, and Midland all charge or have arrangements like Jeremy proposes at a rate of $2.85.
See?
And those airports.
I didn't make that up.
Those airports, I would point out to the commission, have much less volume than we do.
Well, Midland actually has more.
What would we consider? Look, I think it's inevitable. I think we're going to get to the point where
I don't disagree.
We should establish that revenue point. But
to me,
would we consider phasing it in and doing dollar every 90 days till we get to
the day that we reach where parking and standing at the main entrance becomes a premium, where we're wanting to defract and push out unnecessary people, then I agree. The failure, which should be
How
appropriate.
much are we spending on the parking right now?
On maintenance for parking? I don't have that number with me.
Yeah, but drop-offs aren't parking.
Exactly. But
No. That's what I'm referring to. When the drop-off area, that area, the driveway, the drive-up is at a premium where we have blockage and we have standing queues of line. That's where I believe it's appropriate.
That's why I stressed earlier that we're not really strained.
Right. Because now you're adding not the family member dropping off. Now you're adding a business that's using a facility that is actually causing congestion. But at this point, the only time I see congestion, and my wife has seen it, is when we're there for the 11:30 or 12 p.m. midnight arrival of Delta, and then you see the stream of cars all parked along the edge. There's about 15, 20 cars. But short of that, I've never seen it any other time. Unless I'm wrong. I don't live at the airport. I almost do, but I don't live at the airport to see it. But to me, I don't think this is a fee that's necessary, or certainly would be one that's requisite given the passenger volume. But it's coming. And I completely agree with everybody else on the
I
board that's
think
a
it's
proponent.
necessary.
I just don't
It
think we're
doesn't
there
have to be
now.
done.
Call the question.
Mayor, I make a motion to disapprove the consideration of approval of the non-exclusive transportation network company operating permit at McAllen International Airport.
Do I hear a second? Do I hear a second?
That's what I'm going to propose.
Motion dies. Do I have another motion?
I have some agreement with Commissioner Zamora, but I think the fee probably just needs to be phased in. So I would like the commission to consider establishing a timetable to get to the $3, so that you also have Uber, Lyft drivers. I just stated our business. I would think the average fare here is smaller, and so $3 could be 30% of their fare, right, out of a $9 fare. I think you phase in the shock, let them start telling their customers, or people who use Uber and Lyft start to get acquainted
The
to it.
$3 fee is estimated to give us about $4 million in debt service. $4 million.
Or how
So
long?
Yeah, that's why I
it's-
think-
It's part of the programming that we're working on for.
I think it's
for the
needed,
terminal
but I think
expansion.
you phase it in. I'm not talking about a long, extended timetable.
Could we
But
do
if we
that
get
over
4
18
million in
months?
debt service,
I
we
was
can-
thinking shorter. I was thinking 90 days
12 months,
per
maybe?
dollar. So that's 9 months. Y'all want to do 6 months? I mean, I think.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I mean, that'll be doable. It'll be, we'll
Okay.
get there
90
quick.
days, $1, and then $2, another 90 days, and then $3. That's what it is. I'll second that motion.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against?
Aye.
Logistically, or how will that work?
We'll just have to coordinate with the TNCs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, let me tell you how that's going to work. You see the guy sitting over there at the
He's
exit,
gonna
right?
get a
He's going to
contract.
incorporate that language into the contract.
All righty, thank you.
All right.
Okay, what do we have? Item number 3.
Item 3A, Mayor, is consideration approval, change order number 9 and final for the Anzalduas Bridge Improvements Project. Mr. Engineer.
Good afternoon. Change order number 9 reflects the amount of $309,163.67 for the inbound facility and a net amount of $99,526.85 for the outbound facility, for a total amount of $408,609.52. This item was approved by the Anzalduas Bridge Board previously. The engineer of record, RRP Consulting LLC, and staff recommend approval of change order number 9 and final for the amount of $408,690.52, and for a total contract amount of $84,384,423.56, and we open it up for any questions.
Excellent. Questions? If not,
I
Mayor, motion to
just
approve.
wanted to point out, this
Yes, sir.
is final on Anzalduas, so this is a bit of a historic vote.
That's great.
That's why it's not on
We-
consent.
We hope it's final.
A motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Item B.
Mayor, item 3B is consideration and approval contract amendment number 4 for construction phase services, Anzalduas International Bridge, northbound, southbound, full commercial project.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Item C.
Mayor, item 3C is a proposed award of contract for a master service agreement for various improvements at the Anzalduas Port of Entry.
Can we have a little bit of explanation on that?
On
What is
this-
that? Master service agreement. What is that?
So we went out for a contract to expand the lanes, but what we did here, instead of awarding that service contract right now, we've negotiated the hours and the hourly rate. And so we're calling it a master service agreement. And so if we get expansion of that scope, because we wrote a pretty broad scope, so we can go out and get federal funding or possible federal funding, we can expand that scope. So we have the hourly rates locked in, and the next part is to negotiate work authorizations with them for that
I see.
work at the bridge.
All right. Motion to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
Mayor, item 3D is award of contract for Nolana widening from FM 2220 to FM 1926. Commissioner Zamora, you had a question on that, but I believe I addressed that for you. If
Yes.
you'd like additional explanation, I'm
No,
happy to
no
provide it.
explanation needed. Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against?
Long overdue.
Motion carries. Next item.
Mayor, item 3E is award of contract for the purchase of prefabricated restrooms for the McAllen Hike and Bike Project.
Man, just tell us the cost.
Is it less than $100,000?
Per? Yes.
Thank you. Motion to approve.
That was part of the original budget, right? Or
Was
just
that-
added- was this part of the original budget or something that was added?
This was a HUD grant
Okay.
that we'd gotten.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
This is on the Second Street Hackenbike? Got it. Thank you.
Item F.
Mayor, item 3F is consideration authorization to negotiate with a top-ranked firm for a market feasibility and needs assessment for convention facilities master plan. Some of this relates back to the programming we showed you at the retreat we did some time ago. We think this is a good program and something we're excited to move forward with. But Yahida's here to address any questions you have.
Well, I don't think we want to get into some of the issues but unless y'all have questions.
No. Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion passes.
Mayor, item 3G, consideration approval to terminate contract with Claims Administration Services and award the next highest bidder.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
So move.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Item 4.
Mayor, item 4A is providing for a budget amendment for design development services of Nolana Avenue for FM 2220 to FM 1926. This was the item previously approved on consent. They are related. This is the budget amendment to cover the cost of that
We can
project.
take B.
And B is a ordinance providing for a budget amendment for fiscal year 2025-26 capital improvement rollover projects.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Motion carries.
Okay.
Lincoln Advisory Board appointments.
Yes.
Carla, advisory board appointments.
Something with less lively discussion.
Good afternoon, Mayor and City Commission. This item is for advisory board appointments. The following advisory board nominations have been submitted by members of the City Commission. Commissioner Zamora, you have nominated Abner Gudino to the CDBG Advisory Board, Maria Elena Sainz to the Senior Citizens Advisory Board, Ruben Flores to the Traffic Commission Board, and Eric Elizondo to the Keep McAllen Beautiful Board. Commissioner Rios, you have nominated Isela Vieira Rios to the Planning and Zoning Board, Commissioner Castillo, Brisa Castillo to the Airport Advisory Board, and Alma Garza to the CDBG Board. And Mayor Pro Tem Haddad, you have nominated Douglas Silva to the McAllen Housing Finance Corporation. These are all the nominations received to date. If there are any other additional nominations, I can take them at this time.
Ms. Perla, we'll reappoint Thomas for the Keep McAllen Beautiful.
Okay.
He is eligible, so.
Does she
Yes.
Sure she did.
Perla, you read out loud my nominations, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Excellent. Anything else? If
They
not,
were the
I
first
want to-
ones.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Future agenda items.
Mr. Mayor, can we look at, and I think we haven't done it in about 4 or 5 months, maybe the streetlight improvement project, getting another update, at least a semi-annual update?
Yes, sir.
As a workshop, Mayor, the parks and public areas that we can light up for residents to practice and play at will be important because
The parks,
we don't
right?
have,
Yeah.
because we don't have many, and there's a lot of use into it, maybe including the golf course too.
Mr. Molina?
Got it.
Mr. Molina, Pepe saw what we need.
Okay. Anything else?
No, I live it. I have an 8-year older, bro.
If not, we'll go to item 6.
6A.
Mayor, item 6 was a resolution nominating a representative for the Hidalgo County Appraisal District Board of Directors 2026. This is to fill the vacancy left by the untimely demise of Mr. Betancourt. Again, we are voting to nominate one of 3 people that would be considered by the entire appraisal board who will ultimately select from the 3 nominated candidates who sits in that seat. We had brought this last meeting. I wanted to, well, after conversation, there was a decision to take a little extra time for you all to think if you had nominees other than who we had discussed last time.
Motion to remove said item from table.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries off table. What were I wasn't here the last time. Who was it?
Mr. Mayor, I had considered or brought to the board's attention, consideration for Mario Isabel Reina.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, was there anybody else?
I concur with him.
There was three.
Anybody else in that list?
We get to nominate one. They will take the top three nominees they receive from the authorized participants, and then that appraisal board will choose who sits on the board.
Okay, was there anybody else considered, or?
I don't know.
Was that?
No other suggestions were made to me, Mayor.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I ask that all nominations be closed, and I make a motion to nominate Mario Isabel Reina as.
Second.
All in
nominee.
favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Executive session items.
Mayor, with regards to item 7A, I recommend that the board entertain a motion to authorize the city manager and city attorney to proceed as described in executive session.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
I think your 7B is what you're.
7A only?
Yes, sir.
It's okay.
That's
You
just
Still pass. Okay, next item.
Next item is consultation regarding potential impending litigation. Mayor, I recommend that the board entertain a motion to authorize the city attorney to execute the litigation strategy as described in executive session.
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Item C.
Mayor, I recommend that the board entertain a motion to authorize the city manager and city attorney to proceed as described in executive session.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. And there being no further business, this meeting is adjourned.
Regular City Commission meetings are held on the second and fourth Monday of each month. Meetings are broadcast on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays on the McAllen Cable Network.
Se lleva a cabo una audiencia pública y si la propiedad se vende, se debe volver a solicitar la excepción especial o quitar la estructura. Las cocheras abiertas para vehículos aprobados con una excepción especial no pueden usarse para almacenar objetos y no pueden exceder los 400 pies cuadrados de área. El personal de planificación de la ciudad de McAllen está disponible para conversar sobre opciones